Hello, I'm Roger Bisbee from the Skill Builder channel. I'm up at Abacus Bathrooms and I'm going to show you their new EZ Box 2, which is a great solution for fitting shower valves. Similar to a lot of other boxes, but it's better in so many ways, and I'm going to show you what they are. This one is fitted on one of their shower mounting plates, but they're also going to do a metal one of these, which means you'll be able to get it into a 3x2 stud wall. And on the side you can see the marks for depth planning, so you've got plenty of scope there for cutting this back. Once you finish tiling, you just cut back whatever is left over there. It's clearly described in the instructions, so there's no reason why you should get it wrong. So here you can see hot on the left, cold on the right as usual. It's amazing how many people swap that, get that the wrong way round. And then you can have it set up for 1, 2 or 3 outlets. In this case we've got one going to the bath filler, we've got one going to the fixed head on the shower, and we've got one going to the hand spray. Now you can fit it either landscape or portrait. So what we have here is the testing plate with the hot and cold isolator, so you can turn those in to close one down, so you can test them individually, open them up, and it'll make it flow obviously to the various outlets. It's very important that you don't over tighten these. There's no need. Just make sure that when the water's running you just carry on till the water stops and you'll be fine. Obviously you're flushing out the pipe work as well when you do this, so that we're not going to get any debris up into the filters on the valve. So that's us. We've done our first fixed test on it. We're happy with that, and then we carry on and we tile around it and finish that. Then we come to the point where we want to put our second fixed valve on. We've got the O-rings, and being brass on brass, you can tighten that up, but there's no need to go crazy with it. What I tend to do is just tighten them up, and if there's a tiny weep of water coming out, I just give them a little bit more. So let me show you how this comes off. This is the testing plate. They provide an Allen key for it, and what I do is, if you're working over a bath as I am here, make sure you put the plug in. You don't want these screws dropping down into the waste hole. So that's the test plate. So the first thing I want to put in is the thermostatic mixer. Now it's important that you keep these clean. Don't let any debris get on there, because you can see their machine faces, and that's the O-ring. Make sure that it's not over tight there. But once you get all 4 screws in located, you're happy, you can tighten it up slightly. So this is the diverter valve, and you can clearly see what we've got here is the water comes in at the bottom, and we've got the 3 outlets. This is what a 2 outlet one looks like, so you can see that that plate is plugged off there. One word of warning, if you like, is if you've got a fixed head and it's just a 2 outlet, you go into the A and the C. Hopefully you read the instructions and you get nothing wrong whatsoever. So when you put this one at the top, you just got to clear past those little plastic lugs. This is a minimum of 1 bar pressure, so if you were putting it on a tank fed system or an indirect system as we call it, you're not going to get 1 bar pressure unless you've got the tank 10 meters above the shower valve. So in that case you would want it to be pumped, or better still put it on mains pressure. But you'll find that all valves nowadays, you know, most taps, everything's made for mains pressure, so it won't work on a 1 bar or anything less than 1 bar anyway. So at this point we could give it a test, and if we do, I'd turn the water back on and just make sure these check valves are open, and don't do what I've done on many occasions, and that's open the valve and get wet from the overhead. Jump out the bath and do it. But normally all this would be tiled in. I'm only showing you this on a demonstration rig, but normally at this point that would all be tiled in and we'd be looking to cut back. But the point is you can test it. So now it's tiled up, not the most brilliant bit of tiling, but the silicone's filled it, that's fine. And this cover plate is going to go over there, and this has got a gasket behind it anyway. And these are going into plastic, so be careful. We've got 3 points at which it's sealed. And again, get all 4 screws in before you tighten up, because there is a chance that you could distort the plate if you do 3 screws up. And what keeps that in place is the knobs. So there's just one little insert there that goes in, that plastic insert that screws on, a little bit of plastic. So that gives us the indication. So this is a little thermostatic safety stop, just line that up. And then underneath, do the little Allen screw up, nice and tight against the face. Now this is in the handle. This is where you definitely need to make sure that your bath plug is closed, or your shower waste is covered over, because that little bung just goes in the bottom there. So just to give you an idea of how these operate, I've come over to this display area, and here you can see that you've got the different colour options, and you can see that this one's mounted portrait and this one is mounted landscape. So this one is the hand spray, loads of pressure there, and this one is the bath filler with the temperature control in the middle. And just up here we've got their new recess shower, which just goes into a plate in the ceiling. It's absolutely brilliant this. I'm definitely going to have one of these.